at the very end of the report, you're going to have totals for your store to see exactly your total counted for that store, total on hand, and total variance. You'll be able to tell what you were long and what you were short. So you can print this out and take it and double check yourself. In this example, maybe I printed this out and I found that, okay, I counted 2 9.5 Bs. My on hand says 1. And I found out we truly only have 1. So now I need to make an adjustment. Because you realize whatever your count is, when we go to update our inventory, it's going to take what it says counted and make that your new on hands. So you want to make sure that your count is correct. So I'm going to go back to Inventory, Physical Inventory, and enter physical counts to make any adjustments that I need to make from my variance report. I'm going to pull up the SKU. And I will be able to see exactly what's been counted so far. And if I wanted to, I could click on the Show On-Hand Quantities, and that'll show what the on-hand shows that I'm supposed to have. So in that example, I found out I counted in black, it shows what I counted in black, 2 9.5 Bs. My on-hand said 1. I went out and double checked and found no, I truly have 1. So I want to change that to 1. And then I'm going to save this. So all you're doing is modifying. So if I found that I had an 8.5, I just put an 8 there. If I found out that I had 2 9s instead of 1 9, I just changed the 1 to a 2. And then once I'm done editing this and making sure that my count is correct, I can click on Save. And that saves that. When you're completely done making any adjustments from the variance report, I recommend going back to Inventory and Physical Inventory and printing a final variance report. So you can go to Variance Items Report, and you can rerun this report. Down at the bottom you'll see there is a place where you can click on Print Only Varying Items. If you only want the report to print just the varying items, you can do that. That's what I would probably do the first time you run it when you go out to double check your inventory. All you're really concerned about is I want to know my varying items so I can double check things. So in that case you would click that. When you go to do your final variance, you might want to do 2 reports, one with it checked and then another one without it checked. Without it checked, it gives you absolutely everything that you counted, whether you had a variance or not. And then you can just add job and run, and that'll give you your final variance report to have on hand. And then your very last step, once you've entered your counts in, whether it was by the worksheets or entered them in manually or a scanner attached to your computer or uploaded them from a reader, done your UPC not found report if you had a reader, portable reader, done your items not counted report, done your variance report, and you made sure after the items not counted report that you zeroed everything out or you counted what you truly had. You do that final variance item report, you're ready to update your inventory. So that final variance report, whatever your count says on that report, that's going to make it your new on hand once you click on Update Inventory and update your inventory. So our last step is Update Inventory, and it's going to ask you, have you run an items not counted report? So you got to check that. Have you entered a 0 count for any items with no inventory that are on the items not counted report? And have you run a variance items report and reviewed it? And of course, made any adjustments and ran that last variance report. Once you check those, then you can click on Commit Physical Inventory. That's going to take all of your counts that are sitting in this temporary count file and anything that was on your variance report that says counted, and it's going to make that count and turn it into your new on hands. So once you click on this Commit Physical Inventory, it's going to make your count your on hand. One other thing that I want to add that's very important, since you're on a real-time system, you really want to take inventory before you're open or after you close. There's too many things that happen with your inventory that have to do with sales going on or receiving, or if you have multiple stores transferring. You really want to take your inventories, get them completely done and updated while you're not open. We strongly recommend you to do it that way. If you choose not to do it that way, you need to speak to one of the support people here at RICS and find out the appropriate steps. But again, we do not recommend taking an inventory and updating it while you have sales going on. And the last thing is, feel free to call any of our support staff to walk you through these steps of a physical inventory. It's not every day that you take an inventory. So we really encourage you to call us and we'll take you through these steps. It's really important that you follow each step when you're taking an inventory. You're taking the time to take your inventory, so you want to make sure that it's done accurately. I thank you for taking your time to view this webinar.